This is where we fight!
The battle is on. Mars versus Venus.
Yes, sir. The battle is on. Mars versus Venus. And Abeyo has such a beautiful topic for you guys
It's not
today.
me. It is raw.
Abeyo has such a beautiful topic today. We're talking nuances. We're talking new. We're talking Gen Z. We're talking old. We're talking everything.
You know when you read that topic and you just know it's going to raise your blood pressure? I don't know why Rod is just wake up and choose violence.
We're talking everything today.
Here's what we're going to do today. Today, I will read it, and then, I mean, if Jaiga wants to add something, fine. But let's just let the chat do what it do, and we will curate.
I just want to let you guys know I'm all about
I don't want
sweetness
to.
from here on.
I don't want to. I don't want to. All right,
from here
fine.
into the new year. It's all about sweetness.
I just seeing that this is going to raise my blood pressure.
All
right.
I am not engaging in any negativity.
So this, I don't know where Raw find this, but there's something floating around on social media that goes a little something like this. Ladies.
Something like this. Rap it. It goes a little something.
I don't want to, you know. I don't want to.
It goes a little something like this. Hit it. Abby.
Ladies, since you no longer want to be traditional, please stop expecting traditional treatment from men.
Oh,
Look,
wow.
I just want to fling my phone.
And what is traditional?
Exactly. I am not contributing. I'm going to let you all take it away. Let us start. This is the, you've been given the assignment. This is the assignments, right? So, you know, when you get the essay question, they put the quotes in quotation marks. Ladies, since you no longer want to be traditional, please stop expecting traditional treatment from men. That's in quotations. Underneath, they have discuss.
Right.
And then they're going to tell you, explore the ideology of what is traditional.
That's what we should do. First
right?
and foremost.
What is traditional?
We need to come out now and speak
Y'all
on what we believe.
feel free to run with
now
it.
You can't say y'all.
Tell us what traditional is. I talk about the people inside the chat. Let us step back.
No, we can't.
I don't want to.
We can't. It's your job.
I don't want to.
It's your job. That's
really
why you're here.
raising my blood pressure is my job.
That's why you're here. Could we just, amongst ourselves, kind of figure out what we deem traditional? Traditional as in...
Take it away.
As in what we seen our grandparents and parents did, or traditional in how we interpret what we believe traditional is in the now space. Because traditional could float, it moves. Remember that goalpost is shifting with time.
You mean all...
No, traditional, you understand, traditional could mean different things in different spaces.
different people in different spaces. Okay, so carry on.
Because for us, a traditional Sunday meal is macaroni pie, stew chicken, peas, potato salad, some watercress.
Right. And traditional Sunday meal in the England could be, you know...
Exactly.
A little mash and peas.
Correct.
You know, mash and gravy and peas.
Correct.
Okay, fine.
Traditional in the next part of the world is something else. So we need to figure out when we're talking traditional.
What are we talking about?
Exactly.
All
Are
right,
we
Jaiga.
saying traditional in the sense of a Caribbean-based sort of stuff?
Well, yes, let's contextualize it within the Caribbean diaspora.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's do that.
So if we're speaking in the Caribbean diaspora, a traditional way to court someone, a young lady, is you might meet through mutual friends, through the workspace, through school, church, band choir. Band choir. Through the arts, the theater.
The theater.
You have met many men in the theater. Now, all right, let me don't make it sound that way.
Not
Let me
that
pull
way,
it back.
yeah? It's a little incestuous.
Yeah.
A little incestuous.
But we have all
The men in
met...
the theater are my brothers. Okay?
Right.
Right.
But we have all met different people in different spaces, in different walks, time, in life.
Yes.
So...
Well, you see all this preamble. He is getting ready to be ridiculous.
No,
You're
no,
seeing it? Okay.
No.
Carry on.
I am just trying to...
You're giving context.
Yes.
Right
now I'm making the
You're
bed.
helping the class.
I'm putting on the mattress cover.
Right. All right.
I have a new comforter set I want
Get
to put
them
on
the
the
fitted
bed.
sheet. Get them the fitted
So
sheets.
I am now putting on the mattress cover.
Traditional.
So
What
we
does
have to then
traditional
say,
mean?
in growing up, we knew that you have a brethren, you have a cousin. You see him, like, who is that? I'm a cousin. You lie, that your cousin? Serious? Yeah, she from down south. Your cousin from south? And you start to chat up the cousin.
Right.
You understand? Because she came to the little family line, to all the thing, all they stand up in a corner, they talk long time. You talk till your throat sore. You drink about 4 more, then you party your belly, but you pee a hole in that pee for 4
because you don't want to move.
Right.
Because somebody else go hold you and talk.
That's how it started.
So you're talking about, what is lovely is, this is the mattress cover, the traditional in terms of how we meet, how we court.
Correct.
But then we also have to talk about what this abomination of a post here, talks about. It's traditional treatment from men, and I'm going to hypothesize that what they're really talking about, apart from just the meeting, etc., we also talking about in terms of cohabitation, in terms of just general intersex, intergender relations, in terms of how we communicate, in terms of what's expected, the stereotypes in terms of and stigmas of what is expected maybe in the household, in the workplace, and how have those things changed and morphed over time.
Pause it right there for a second.
Yes, please, take it away.
A young lady just sent a message.
Yes.
She said, women expect traditional men, providers, protectors, handyman, etc. But many women lack traditional aspects, cooking, support, peace of mind.
I'm going home. Let me pick up my cupcake, my coffee, and press. Because all is not going to raise my blood pressure today. You do not pay me enough for this.
This is a young lady speaking.
Not doing it.
Guys, just remember, let me just say this out aloud. Let me say this out aloud. Topic, nothing to do with Jaiga. Comments, nothing to do with Jaiga.
This is Cleveland's. This is Cleveland, the mad scientist, pulling strings in the background and laughing in the background. Right.
I just say, I forgot one thing. Meeting in a soca fest. That's
meeting in a soca fest.
Yeah.
Soca party.
Yeah, in a soca party.
The soca party.
That's all
Sambu playing in the background.
Yeah. So guys, that's what we're talking about. How would you? What is this here? Let's take some notes now, guys.
Please,
let's start with some notes and see what the voice notes are saying.
Yes.
Hold on.
Top of the morning, guys.
Hi.
Abby, Jaiga, Rodi. Yeah, well, traditional is very open, and it's a very open topic. Very, very open. As Jaiga said, it could float. Right? It could be traditional based on societal values or cultural norms. It could be tradition based on ethnic customs.
There we go. He's
right?
right.
So traditional, real kind of.
Up in the
Too
air.
open to really pinpoint.
Correct.
So as you all say, let us figure out exactly which lane we're going on, and we could discuss further.
Thank you.
That question need a little more
Thank you.
That's
explanation, a
right.
little more juice in it.
Clarification.
Thank you.
Clarification.
That's what I'm
Contextualize. And we are going to allow you all to do that.
Your blood pressure reason to the lead.
Lead us.
Traditional is growing up following your mother and father pattern. Going out, getting married, courting, married, children, house.
Yeah.
Traditional is finding a ladies gentleman, whatever you want to call it. Traditional is the man pay for everything. I sit down and relax.
Right.
Bear children.
Yeah.
We good.
She said, sit, relax,
Bear
/ bear
children.
children.
Yeah.
Sis, how?
She says traditional.
Sis, how?
Hold on, Abby. Calm down. Calm down. Traditional could mean different things to different people.
No, I know. But
The
it's how she said, sit down, relax. And in the same breath,
Bear children.
bear children.
Yeah.
And my brain is ready to
That
explode.
is traditional in some
That
spaces.
is my brain is ready to
Traditional in
explode.
some spaces is go to school. It starts there. Go to school.
Yes.
Finish school.
Yes.
Get a work in the ministry.
Yes.
Yes.
And then for other families, it's go to school, come out and be doctor and liar.
Yeah, in some
Hi.
again we go in the ethnic side
Hi.
of things. Right? Get a little work in the ministry.
Or with the
Yes,
police.
Yes, a P1 or a P2 in the
Hi,
ministry.
at T3 or at... No, hold on, wait, it is.
It's TP, one of them is, I know it has number. Me know.
The T's have numbers
it's
too.
a number. It's
T2, T3, T1, whatever it
Me
is.
know.
Right, nice.
Anybody in the ministry, let me know what number is.
The
'cause I know-
ministry or if you're teaching, all the T's and
Right?
the P's.
So it have that. Get
Right.
one of those.
Make sure you have benefits and
Meet
pension
a
to
boy.
get.
Meet a little boy living in
Make
Barataria.
sure he going to church, he father
does
is
go
a
to church. You
pastor.
understand? Meet a little boy who going back and he now get to work in the service.
He's a police.
He now get to work in the service. Get girl go with he have benefits because he working in
Aye.
the service. You and he get together, all your whole hand. Go Sunday school.
That's right.
Go and check your mother on a Sunday. You know what you have to do?
Nigel.
I'm going to see how you looking to see what name I can get.
He's trying to figure out what is about
Everybody
to be
come
your
here and get a
nickname.
name, bro.
Trying
Everybody
to figure
come.
it out.
I'll figure it out before the show, though. I'm glad you're here. You understand?
Nigel.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You understand?
Yes.
Then on a Sunday, you have to go and buy coconut ice cream for your mother-in-law.
Soursop and Barbadine. Soursop and Barbadine. Right.
You understand? That is what you have to do. So those are the traditional values that some people will speak on. And then after that, you hold hand, and you know after you have a oops. They get a oops.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the oops. You have the oops, and because your family is traditional, the oops leads to the aisle.
Run in the aisle.
The aisle.
As you get the oops, you have to go in the aisle because your mother don't want your belly to raise for people to see.
Right.
So you get the oops, you run down the aisle. Quick. Your auntie sewing that dress. You remember your auntie had to sew the dress?
And then, of course, you have the reception with balloon and streamers.
And the balloon and streamers is in the community center.
That's right. With blue tub, and your uncle wearing his silk shirts and pulling at all of the young cousins and them talking about, oh, you're looking healthy, boy. Yes, traditional. Listen, you all.
All right. Let's touch back in here again.
Please, thank you,
Let's touch
because
back in here.
I'm not able. So, you need girl.
Let's touch back in here first.
Woo!
Alright, traditional courting in the Caribbean in the 80s, parents and things used to be really involved. When you're going home by small and things, your father and mother right there. When you're calling grandmother answering, trying to figure out who it is, making sure you know that to know is who. Now, I feel them really care about it. Them doing what I want to do.
So we've spoken about the traditional in terms of courtship. Let's expand the conversation in terms of gender expectations.
Hold on, let's get you some first. We have to take it in batches.
Okay, fine.
Take it in batches.
We're billing it.
I'm going to take a traditional nap again. Get out of it.
So is it that we're trying to be traditional in the relationship alone, but everything outside of the relationship is no longer quote-unquote traditional?
That's an excellent question.
Hold on. We'll get to you, honey.
Excellent question.
We'll get to that. Hold on.
Traditional long time was go a little dance with your friend in SWWTU hall.
Hey!
The first man you dance with end up your husband.
Correct.
You bear some children. You bring an outside child. You mind
And
that
you
child
mind
too.
it?
Traditional now is you have better sense. You learn from your parents' mistakes and your grandparents' mistakes. You test the waters. You sow your wild oats. And then you settle down.
AKA jam down the place.
And, you know.
AKA you better jam down.
I just want to throw a small something for us to think about while we continue to deconstruct.
Unpick and unpack.
Yes, unpick and unpack / deconstruct.
What
traditional means.
To some.
That a lot of the times, the things that we consider tradition came out of historical spaces and constructs that leaned towards particular ideologies. Yes, a lot of the times things that we say are traditional masks a lot of toxicity. It masks a lot of unhealthy.
Ma'am,
Listen, you want me to engage or you want me to just stay quiet?
Ah, boy.
Pick your poison, because I cool in quiet, it will not raise my blood pressure.
Your profession don't have to raise.
Very well. So what I'm saying is, while we think about traditional, like we could laugh and kicks about what we know traditional to mean to our parents, our grandparents, and that's good. The trip down memory lane, etc. That's wonderful. It's always fun, and we don't do it with a sense of judgment because our parents and our grandparents did and lived what they knew, and you cannot necessarily judge them for that. They did what they knew. We know a little more. We don't know everything. We're still learning and unlearning. Fine. But while we take the walk down memory lane, can we take a moment to just temporarily deconstruct if some of these traditions were really about holding on to a particular way of life for the health and benefit of a culture and a society, or if it was holding on to particular ways of life and customs and norms to perpetuate certain ideology. Is it tradition or is it toxicity?
I want to go in a dance and find you, dance with you, and marry you. Yeah, I'm telling you, my mother had one man. She went by Carrie Ranks when they went to a ballroom. She see Carrie Ranks, she danced with Carrie Ranks, she gave fortune.
Yeah.
Nah, Jaiga, that woman, she had to get award, boy, because she on point. Because ladies these days, they really want traditional men, but they telling you about them as the millennials.
Ooh, I love this here. Traditional relationships. Eating licks from your husband.
Wow.
Husband have a whole lot of family in the next village. Known but secret sexual abuse at the hands of family members. Men not being shamed for impregnating multiple women. Slip and fall ward.
Wow.
The slip and fall ward.
Wow.
Yeah, she just slip and fall.
Morning. For me, traditional comes from a colonial context,
Hey, you!
especially when it comes to countries like Trinidad that have been colonized. So a lot of what our ideologies might be on traditional comes from that, whether it pertains to marriage, education, whatever in life, it comes from that, and a sort of respectability politics.
Facts.
I love all you sometimes.
Facts.
Yes, morning Millie.
Top of the morning again, guys. Well, based on what you have said and what the voice notes would have been saying, realize that we have steered away from tradition. So the tradition now is to have no damn tradition, basically. Do what you want, say what you want,
Do what you
talk
want.
to who you want,
Yeah.
do what you want with who
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
That is tradition.
Yeah.
No tradition.
We like that tradition. Do what you
Except,
want.
you know what is the thing though? And it was a really interesting conversation I was having with a group of people in terms of thinking about folk and folklore and what we consider the things that are linked to heritage, which is an important conversation to have. And not just because we just want to try to hold on to our way of being and our way of embodiment and our way of life. That's one part of it. But also holding on to it and examining it helps us to understand why we are the way we are and why we make the choices. So there is nothing wrong with examining tradition for the purpose of deciding that there are certain traditions we need to let go of,
Correct.
you know? So it's not a matter of just do what you want. It means that the culture, that culture has evolved. Sometimes for the better, sometimes
For the
not
worse.
for the worse.
It
You
depends
understand?
on the space.
And that's why you examine that's why I say we must interrogate what we mean when we say traditional. That's why that conversation is important. What we want to hold on to and what we don't want to hold on to. Where do we find the balance?
And for the essence of context, guys, you remember as Abby said at the beginning, is just a quote? Is just something that was just written in a space that we just dissecting? Nobody in this room here is saying that you have to follow some rule book as this is how it has to be. I am all for, as I continue to champion, it's hard, but I'm all for the conversation, the hard conversation, because everybody's different. You'll meet somebody along the way who, there are things about that individual that spark something in you as an individual. There are people you meet in life that really brings a dark aura in your life. You mightn't see it at first, but when you look back and you'll be like, yo, in that space in my life, I was a really itty person because of that.
Right.
And then there's somebody else you might meet and they will bring something out in you and you realize that that spark happened because of the interaction with them. Because in some cases, people who challenge you make you better. When they could tell you, hey, you see that way you're doing it off. Because it makes you think.
Even if you've been doing it for the last 30 years, even if your family been doing it for the last 8
Correct.
off.
And then when they start to tell you, and then they could plant that seed for you to then think, is it really? And then you start to dissect within self. Yes. And you're saying, yeah, boy, that could be true. And along the way, you start to make small changes. You and that person might not have interactions again, you know, but you will remember that is where the spark started to change. So when we talk in tradition, we could say, this is what you've been doing forever. But there are times that no.
Or this is the way we have been communicating forever, etc. All those things.
It might, and you have to change when things change because the way you said it is like in everything. Look, all right, let me just bring it into in this space here in the music. This started with records.
Hi, vinyl.
Is there a record anywhere in sight now?
Vinyl.
But music stop?
Well, I happen to know some people who have like crates and crates and crates of records.
No, I know.
However,
but
this is not the language of it anymore. No.
It's not. And music didn't stop.
Nope.
They found a way to continue filling the space, the music space. It's digitized. It's the same thing in life. My mother and them start to say, and I tell her that all the time, but she can't get her. My mother in her 80s come, they old. She meet a mister, they went to a ballroom. That's what it's below. You go to a ballroom, dance and meet man.
And you dress her frou-frou and can.
Saying it so songs Gross, but let me be real. You could pretty it up all them kang just is man they going and look for and woman they go and look for.
And that your mother and father dressing you up to go and meet them too, eh?
Your mother and father buying a nice shoes for you to go to look for man.
Cotillion and thing.
When I say it so, God, you had a song so, but that's just what it is.
And long time when they used to have coming out thing for young
it
ladies.
It is coming out for man. You understand?
Yes, you're right.
I telling my mother the other day, you crazy? Your grandmother said, Jamesy, Granny carry you to look for man.
It is.
Because
they were trying to marry them off
early. When they reach 16, the husband and wife sit down. Hey, Imella. My grandmother name was Imella. Oh. My grandfather went, Imella. You see them girls on them getting big. My 13 girl children. He studying 13 of them in my place. Hey, Imella, them getting big, you know. Time for them to get a man.
Wow. And that's why a lot of our grandparents got married at 16, 15, 14.
You go by the seamstress.
That's tradition.
You get a nice dress. You go to the convent ball to look for man.
Yeah.
But we try to, and what you call, I said on yourself, the colonial way of doing it, that is how it was.
How it was.
When you get to that age, but when we say it in the now term, like it's going to look for man, it sounds derogatory, but the fact of the matter is, in those days, that's what parents did. So then, the tradition for them was, when you find the man in the space,
you marry them.
You marry them.
Once he holds
your hand and walk you across that line, and you chip and he flow you so, and you turn to spin, and he come by your gate, then he writes your father a letter.
Hi.
He has to write a full, and that is how you know what type of man he is, by his penmanship. Hence, why cursive.
Or you think you know.
That is how you used to judge man long time, by the strength of your cursive. My father tell me that the better the cursive, the better the man.
Or the better the cursive, the harder the lash.
Yep. Wow. I telling you, cause watch me right now. Ask a youth man to take a fountain pen with ink.
What is that, Ollie?
And dip. And go and write a proper paragraph. In cursive. Asking someone.
Call in the chat, please. Thank you.
Asking someone, good day, Mrs. Bertle.
Bertle, boy. It's like Myrtle, but with a B.
Yeah, Myrtle with a B. Hi, Miss Bertle. I am such and such, John Hackshaw.
Uh-huh.
I'm asking, is it possible for me to come see Simone at your residence? And you put in the full address, Lampool 12, Upper Bush Street, San Juan.
Well, yeah.
Is it possible? You have to do that neatly.
No, you have to ask for her hand.
You have to do it. No, you have to ask to go out.
You have to
ask, can I come to your residence to see your child?
And then you have to pay for her in cows and sheep.
You understand? And then when I now read that document and realize that, woo, better penmanship on point, boy. Spelling and point. All is, watch me, all pronunciation, dot all I's, cross all T's. Then I reply, it is okay. We will expect you Saturday at 2 p.m. in the hot sun. Yes. You come in there sweating with a handkerchief.
And you better bring she back before the sun set.
You have to have a handkerchief folded in 4.
In 4?
Yes. To pat your brow when you walk up the hill, because then there's this trace. It's hill and trace.
Yeah.
And when you get deeper in, Granny who
Cutlass grass nipping at your heels.
Also, Granny who lives at said residence needs water and the pail of milk from at the bottom of the hill. That is your responsibility to bring it up. That is your job. How else you want to go out with my daughter?
Tradition. All that is tradition, right?
No, it's TEMPA in the center. No.
Listen, and we are not vilifying TEMPA in the center, yeah?
We are not.
What we are saying is, a lot of the things that we called tradition, which, as Jaiga painted it, sometimes we romanticize it and we say we need to bring back the old time days and da-da-da-da. That's cool. All that is romantic. That makes a beautiful story from the days of Banyan and thing. There's a beautiful film.
What's this? You know what I laughing at? With that being said, right, nowadays is outside what is considered romance is on my knees and I'm begging because I really want you. Spread your legs.
I just really want to say good morning to Temple. I just want to say good morning to him.
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying that is enough.
And there's nothing wrong with that. What we are going to
Nothing.
say, let us not get lost in the source. There was the olden days, there's a romance attached to it. We romanticize it, right? And then the modern day, my hair fall off. Oh, yes. Thank you, baby.
Don't say hair fall off.
Not
your
my
head
hair,
tie.
my head tie. Sorry. I'll fix it back just now. There's also the modern day version of how, I suppose, or how we, the older generation, perceive the younger generation as communicating. We think that it's vulgar. We attach a certain vulgarity to it. And each generation did it to the one that came after. That idea of vulgarity being attached to how communication developed over time, etc. But the point is, while we romanticize what we perceive as having been tradition, two things. One, we can't leave out the other side of it, because the same way there was the tradition of he had to write the letter and his penmanship had to be great and he had to make sure his shirt is tucked into his pants, etc. And then they court and they get married, and when the first lash pass and you go back home and you tell your parents, they tell you go home and sort it out with your husband. You understand? That's also part of tradition that we have to talk about. There's that, right? And then for people who want to hold on to tradition, when we say holding on to tradition, or we want to vilify the idea of moving away from what we romanticize as tradition, you have to question who wants to hold on to supposed tradition, using the term loosely, and why. Who is benefiting?
I have to read this.
Okay,
Sorry.
3, 4, go.
I have to read it. Listen, a man wrote my grandfather a letter, and it had a word spelled wrong. No, my goodly teacher father had excellent penmanship. He got through. Bacchanal in the wedding with his mother, 6 outside children, love all my siblings. Meanwhile, the one who couldn't spell is a successful businessman, and I am here vexing the people workplace because my parent, my mother make bad choices.
You, no generational wealth for you.
Yes, and because
None
I'm
for
not
you.
spell a word wrong.
But he
Nothing.
spelled it wrong, but he could have though.
Be good at it.
He
So
could have.
he grew up to be a big businessman. That time your father all kind of outside children. And you in somebody's workplace because your grandfather said no time man who spell a word wrong.
Y'all, all I'm saying is when we co-sign and we press reshare on some of these things, when we see it on social media, just take pause. Because it's very easy for us to sing Nappies Bring Back the Old Time Days. Good song, lovely song. Yes, great.
Great melody.
Fantastic.
Great instruments.
But when we bringing back the old time days, carte blanche, there are certain people within spaces for whom the old time days was sufferation, eh? Like I told you were you here that day when I was talking about this? I think I was talking about it with Goofy. Actually in a class the other day, we got to dissect. We do fun things in class. We get to dissect songs and things. So we were dissecting Sundar Popo's Nani and Nana. That's a big tune in the chutney space. One of the songs that immortalized Sundar Popo as being one of the forefathers of
Musical
soca
genius.
chutney. Musical genius. I just want to urge y'all, if we're talking tradition, you want to examine
toxic
tradition,
song, you know.
bad.
Not toxic
Go
song.
and it's not that it's toxic, you know. Go and examine the lyrics of it. Sundar Popo told a story of what was happening in communities. In a way where, one, even though it might have been triggering for certain people, there was a joy at people feeling represented. They just accepted this is the way it was. You know? He fling Nani in the well and then he going to hang. That is the actual lyrics of the song. And
But people lived it, you see.
yeah, exactly.
People lived
All of that is what when we start to talk about tradition, which is why we have to dissect what tradition is.
Wow, look, somebody saying we are here laughing, you all are here laughing, and it's exactly that way still in Senegal.
Hi,
You understand? The process is intense for courting. Don't talk when you reach to married Lord Father. We making joke, but in all honesty, there's some parts of the world where women have no control over the man they marry. None whatsoever.
I mean, but right now in Iran, there are thousands of women sentenced to death because they protested, because they took off their hijabs, because they cut their hair, and because they've blocked out.
They tried to block out the Western world.
They tried to block out the Western world through blocking social media. They're hoping that it's flying under the radar. But all of that is tradition too.
Facts,
Who has decided what is tradition in that space?
Good morning.
See how much times I had to delete this because it's a little trigger in it, you know. The original tradition was boy meets girl, boy courts girl with tremendous love, respect, and effort. And then they get married and boy and girl become man and woman. And then woman stays home to mind family and household, and boy and man goes out to earn, provide, and protect. And then the traditions begin to change, where it is necessary for the women to go out
Economically
and also
necessary.
earn in an effort to provide.
Economically
But when the women go out and the roles begin to switch, why is it that it's switching on one side? So it still have men that thinking, well, there's a woman thing and I taking care of the children is women's work and doing certain things in the household is women's work, and you not switching. Meanwhile, she's out here learning to change her tire and learning to do all the things that might have been your job, and then vex. No, what is going to happen to your partners is that she's going to get, now that she's doing 1.5 roles, she's going to get somebody to do the other half role that you fall short in.
Facts.
And then you want to know all why women bad.
And next thing too, you have to understand, inflation is a real thing. Inflation is real.
As if we're talking economic inflation here.
Yeah, in many aspects. And that changes and because of that it trickles down to many different things moving. If you look at big business, the world is run with price of steel.
Okay.
Right?
Now this is where capitalist Jaiga has entered the chat. Carry
Right?
on.
No, I'm just saying that's the world we living in. Because I mean, you could say that all of that.
No,
you're
it's
driving
true.
a brand new car that you're paying for.
True. It's true. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not free.
Hi.
And it was
technically it's not mine.
Exactly, and it's a structure in order for you to
Technically,
get
she's
said
not mine.
car. It's a structure. There's some part. Understand what I'm saying? The price of steel determines how a lot of things move, right? And
fossil fuels.
And we don't know about go back. Trinidad and Tobago I'm talking about. They could come now and the world could say, hey, the price of steel is reduced by 25%. We are not going to reduce nothing by 25% here. Right? So when that started to happen, what Lily said is correct. Women rule change not by choice.
Nope.
They had no choice because how could you sustain the lifestyle that
The
you
5
want?
picnic that you want, they have to
And
eat.
the basic lifestyle. We're not talking nobody trying to live above the means
No,
here.
they have
We're
to
talking,
eat.
you started off, if we don't talk tradition, homes used to cost $500 to rent, boss. The same house that used to cost $500 is now $5,000.
Hi.
And the money you used to earn, then you're still earning. So it's either we live in the streets
The
or we
rules
both
have to
work.
change.
Correct,
We
it's
can't
right.
pick and choose when
You
we want to
can't.
hold on to tradition.
You can't.
Everything has changed.
You can. But what we do, what started to happen because of that, just as how when steel price move, things move, when that started to happen, mentalities moved as well. Because when a woman is no longer in the home doing all of those things and now out, obviously things will start to change within her. She's a human being. Everybody's human. It's like when you know meet a girl and you're all in a working, all in school. Romance, everything nice, all they love one another. As soon as the both of you start to work, things will change because you start to meet different people. Conversations change. Your point of view might change. Your politics might change. So you start to either drift, either closer or further from the person. It's the same thing like steel. When the steel price move, things start to move because prices change. And that is how I look at things. It might sound capitalistic or whatever, but the fact of the matter is, things always change from the top and it trickles down, either to the good or the bad. Some relationships get stronger, some weaken. I know when I was younger, you going out with somebody, when you have a girlfriend, your first girlfriend, you tell yourself, boy, this is it for me, you know. This is the person I'm going down with, I would deal with them. But listen, I'm going, me and you going to get old. You going to get old, girl, I love you.
6 months later.
Actually a little longer. 2.5 years later,
Okay, fair.
you start to realize people change. She started to meet people, conversations change. Your interest started to shift because you're not talking what we used to talk about. All our dreams and aspirations were cool up until I get a different job, I'm in a different space. I started to talk to different people. I started wanting different things. And I try and explain that to you and you in hearing what I'm saying, but Tasha hearing me because Tasha in my zone and it's a bacchanal. And that is what happens. I was building my house good. When I buy the piece of land, I pay $250,000 for the land. Steel was at a price. When I get my quote from the bank tell me I could complete with finishes at $850,000. 2 years later, after the pandemic, the bank now telling me no, they want $3.4 million because of the price of steel. So obviously things have to change because the plan of the house ain't changing, you know. The price of the things to get to that change.
It's an interesting analogy that you're using It is. It is an interesting analogy, and it definitely does factor into the conversation. But I want us to also continue while we think about that. And this is how we build this expert essay that we're building right now this morning. All of these bits, that part you just put there is like, paragraph 5, nice, hefty, weighty paragraph that talks about how capitalist enterprise impacts interpersonal relationships, how it impacts the relationship between the genders. But the overarching thing goes back to what Millie was saying in her voice note in terms of post-colonial spaces, colonialism, capitalism, etc., and how gender dynamics have always played into that. How the skew to one direction. How those things always play into those things. Yeah, and how race also plays into those things. So it is one of those conversations where you cannot paint with a broad brush. When this person posted that thing that they would have posted, there's a part of me that is almost certain they were talking about the fact that, women are now more independent, supposedly. They have good jobs. Some of us make more money than men, and yet still women expected to be treated a certain way. Now we could again take a moment and deconstruct what exactly we mean by that. And also the dangers of painting with a broad brush. Every time we start dealing in generalizations, it allows us to forget certain factual information. It allows us to forget certain things. So yes, you may be intersecting with particular women who live a certain lifestyle. They like nice things. They want the weave. They want the nails. They want the party. They want to travel. They want to, and yes, they expect men to take up the tab for that. We are not saying that there isn't a cross-section of women for whom that's a thing.
Mm-hmm, of course.
That's absolutely a thing.
And it's like
nobody is saying that don't exist.
And it's like, and the analogy I use for that is going in the supermarket. You have to know what shelves to go by.
Thank you.
If you know to yourself as a dude, that is not in your purview.
Go in the next lane.
Go in the next lane,
Go in
brother.
the next lane.
That's stoop down. It's a thing of how they pack
Go in the
supermarkets.
next
Right?
lane.
Let me teach you all of this.
Or go on the lower shelf where the price is a little
The
cheaper.
trick in supermarket shelf packing is what they put at eye level is always the most expensive because it's a sense of comfort. You're seeing it right in front of you. The lower you go. Let's go in this. Test the theory. Test the theory in soap. Let me teach you the theory in soap. Because I do that for years and I come out of school and pack grocery. So what we're doing, all the nice expensive soaps, they put it at eye view. The ones where one buy is $15. You see when you go by your toe, you can get soap down there for $2.15. It's a no label, it's a clear pack of paper, but it's still Latin. It's Latin on your skin. so
Reverend Jaiga, I want to switch it on you for a moment. That same analogy, except because we use in blue soap. If you want to talk tradition, blue soap has been the soap of champions.
For Jumbie.
It cut in Maljo. It wash in clothes. It look twice, it wash waist.
But I wash where's the blue soap, girl?
Heather!
You know what? Where's I wash the
Blue soap is the soap of champions.
Of course.
Blue soap is cheaper than the more expensive soap.
Correct is right. And it does way more.
But wait, there's a certain prestige attached if you pick up the Olay or the Dove.
The Dove.
You will want blue soap in your thing, but the blue soap is the one that you really need.
You need it.
So maybe it is actually, I'm flipping your analogy where you say, if you know you can't afford go in the next lane, go in the next shelf. Yes.
Soup down.
But also the fact that certain women, certain men, certain categories of women, certain categories of men have been branded as the blue soap.
Mm-hmm. Correct is right.
But that's the woman that you actually need.
But I gave that story a
Thank
1,000
you.
times. That's Leslie Ann. I gave that
That's
story
the
a
woman you
1,000
need.
times. But I was brainwashed into believing that the blue soap wasn't good. When your grandmother tell you, no, bathe the Dove, bathe the Dove, bathe the Dove. I was only studying Dove. That time blue soap was given way to me. I have always used that analogy.
Right.
I agree with you 100%.
Right.
So that's why I always use this supermarket analogy when I talking to young men and choosing women. When you go in the grocery, there are girls who just push cat. And in them cat, them have juice with pulp. You understand?
juice with pulp.
Them buying fresh fruits. They buy red grapes, no seed.
And
White grapes,
blueberries
no
and
seed.
raspberries.
Blueberries, raspberries.
Hi.
They buy frozen croissants.
I also buy frozen cassava and dasheen.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hello? Because dasheen to scratch my hand when I peel it.
You think? And then,
You understand?
then there are those who hold in the little basket And that treating at Trinidad and Tobago fresh juice.
Trinidad and Tobago fruit juices.
That what
Right
granny
with
they sell.
tradition.
What granny they sell. That have a bottle of Matooks. They have a big pack of ketchup that they go in and cut and squeeze into a container that they have
That's
home.
right.
They ain't buying Heinz in the small tub.
It's nothing.
You know what I'm saying? But you're not watching she, you're watching who pushing cats.
Yeah. You want
Because
Madam
your
Asparagus.
eye long.
You want Madam Asparagus.
So now when you get with her now and she say, well, baby, I'll just pick up some stuff in the supermarket for me. And you pretty fast say, yeah, what's happening? What you need now? And she send you WhatsApp arranged by the cashier is 3,700. You're balling. You understand? But when you stay with the basket, she bill is 750. But no, your eye long.
And when she cook, it tasting better than Madam, eh?
If it isn't, because
if she chooses to cook, that is. If she chooses. When she chooses.
Her, she want the bottle of wine. It's $280. She's spoiled because she drinks wine with all her meals. Right? She put in 4 asparagus and a pink
So she
salmon.
don't know how to drink a Smirnoff and call that judge?
She don't know how to drink a water with 4 block of ice. You know how to drink a water with 4 block of ice. It's going on real good.
Drink a little apple Smirnoff when the day come.
You understand me?
Hey.
So now, you, all of a sudden, your palate changes. You talking to your friends and you going by your mother. You say, Mommy, that's what you cook? You don't have no asparagus, then I think all of a sudden you change.
You only know about asparagus and Brussels sprouts.
You feel you better than.
You don't know about liver with a little cabbage.
Up until.
A little liver with a little cabbage.
Up until
Hello.
she tell you, honey, you gotta pick up some stuff for the man. That is when the reality just hit. All the time it good up until she hit you, honey, you gotta pick some stuff up. That is when the whole thing is fall down. You understand?
All right, voice news.
Now we have to keep in mind that her roles still don't change. So while she's working in our generation, she still has to be mother, she still has to be cheerleader to her significant other. And then these men want to know why she always exhausted, because there is no help. Because when you all are helping, it is seen as you all are babysitting your children. Because these are strangers, these are your nieces and nephews, and they did not come out of your, area. I understand that 2 salaries are better than 1 because of the times that we are living in. So while I pray daily to be a rich housewife and own 2 pet penguins, it's not feasible. And I understand that, but it's all balance.
2.
Everything should not just fall on one party.
2 pet penguins.
Thank you. See what I love all here?
Jaiga,
All bright.
Jackson,
Hey, boo.
Raw. Look, toxic feminism has ruined
that's not a thing,
relationships
sweetie.
between man and woman.
That's not a thing.
Everybody now is on their P's and Q's. Nobody do want to talk to anybody anymore.
Sweetie,
Nobody don't want to court anybody anymore, because traditionally, and even now, because nothing has changed, it has just changed on the woman side of it.
Oh my God.
And they use this to their advantage. Who has the most to lose in relationships and a traditional marriage? The man, right? But yet still women would complain, oh, he want me to wash wares, he want me to cook this. No, we never ask you to do these things. We never did. It was a rule of a woman. If you want to be traditional, if you want to be traditional, being traditional means nurturing. Alright? Nurturing means being selfless, putting the kids first, putting the family first. Now, feminism just want to destroy the family. Basically, you're telling the woman and these things are above you. The mere fact that you were designed for these things, it is above you.
Abiel, come. No, come, Abiel, come. Stay away from that whole issue of picking who's best for you and picking what look nice. That is very triggering for Jaiga. We're going up down a different road. Come quick. Don't stand up there.
No. I am healed from all of that.
I still recover from the one before.
Oh God.
All I want to say is, bruv, I hope you have a fantastic Friday and a fantastic weekend.
Thank you.
Everybody else who listened to him, I just want you to go and wait. I want you to go and look up the word incel. Go and look up the word incel. And then get back to me next week.
Block Hino. We don't ever want to hear his voice again. Oh my God, so much tata come out from one man mouth. What the hell is toxic feminism? What the hell is you were made to do these things? Listen, Blocky.
I know it was coming. I'll leave it for spite. I had all control. I could have subbed the van and you own that one, eh? You're on your own. I'll leave it.
You let him hang himself.
Of course.
Hang yourself, soon. Carry on. Sorry, let me retract. That was I meant that figuratively. I did not mean it literally, and I know that is triggering for some people. See, there we go. Woo!
Guys, we gotta go. You see the time? Ole. Yeah, no.
Here the next fool in the corner. You see, I gave Ole a scotcher. You see? I gave Ole a scotcher.
You're not
evil, you know.
You're not. I never burn you down. What we said was, this messaging is going to be very...
Oh, wow. Somebody here say he on the wrong show is giving Matter Drive energy. Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's what it's giving down there?
Ooh.
Damn.
Y'all is mean.
All right, guys. I've seen the 100 voice notes that come. I cannot play it. Ole keep...
100. Ole, do an essay.
Oh, God, they were killing. Look at woman here.
Dude said we are bred for it, you know. We are designed for it.
Here, they want to kill.
Because I am a horse. I am bred for certain things. You understand?
Ah, boy.
Dude said toxic feminism and did not stutter.
Guys, all I can
How
say...
you bite his tongue?
All I can say is have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, you ever had caramel out of a sugar pan? It's sweet when it's melting down. Feels like you're in a fat and you got the sweetest jam. It reminds me of my twin island.
Yes.
As soon as you touch the ground,
that's right.
It's fed for days.
Hey, you.
Because down here has the sweetest waters.
Yeah.
You can also hang on the sweetest bumpers. How does play sweet so?
Hi.
It's honey to use
to pave the road.
Have a good day. We gone! Later!
A mess!
Not me getting in today. My thing going too good.
No. You trying to jump your thing?
Trying to jump me and mash up my thing. Me?
Never.
Toxic what? No, brother. My thing too sweet. You not coming to mash up me. Not at all.